Hello, guys. Welcome to the third episode of the Yellow Wall India podcast. My name is Sujay, and you are listening to us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you are. A very warm welcome to you all. Uh, on the last episode of this podcast, we had Kaustubh interviewing Nico for a very fun podcast in which he discussed about everything related to Dortmund. If you haven't checked that episode out, I would urge you to listen to it today. Today, joining us, we have Vittal and Alister. Vittal is from Chennai and Alister is from Bangalore. We'll quickly go over their introductions. So, Vittal, can we hear from you?
Well, hello Sujay. I'm from Chennai. My name is Vittal Raman. I'm a Dortmund fan from 2012. I've been a Dortmund fan because I love the culture of the football they have, the fan culture, and players who have been loyal to the club. And that's it from side.
All right. And Alister?
Hi, this is Alister here from Bangalore. Been a Dortmund supporter in the last 3 years. What I like about Dortmund is definitely the yellow wall. I think that's what drew me to the club, right? And also when I was joining, it was Jurgen Klopp was still leading as a coach, so that was something that also got me excited about the club. Been a Germany football fan, and then I basically started reading about the Bundesliga, and and then of course when I started reading and watching the games of Dortmund, I fell in love with the club. So yeah.
Yeah. Alistair, I feel a lot of fans of Bundesliga propel from the fact that they were German national fans before, and Germany winning the World Cup in 2014, like it just made Bundesliga a lot more accessible to people in India, I believe. Alistair, recently I heard that you went to a fan meeting in Dubai for the screening of their Klassiker. Can you share your experience about how it was?
It was a fantastic experience. So I was just telling Kaustubh the other day that wherever I think we're going to travel, we're always going to search for BVB fan clubs. So I came here to Dubai, and the first thing I did, I didn't see for anything places to look around, but the first thing I searched on the phone was like, is there a BVB Dubai group? And I found it, and they basically were screening their Klassiker, and I went for it. It was a great experience, right? But it was less of Dortmund supporters and more of Bayern Munich supporters, and also we lost that night, so which was also disappointing. But it's great, to be honest. One thing I would recommend everyone, wherever they go and travel, just always keep searching for a BVB group and just join the meetups and screenings. Yeah.
All right, so that's really beautiful. And one thing that I'd like to tell all the listeners today is that there's a very good initiative taken by Nico. It's called the BVB World Map. If you haven't had a look at it already, go ahead and do it. It'll help you connect to Dortmund fan clubs around the globe. Okay, so coming back to today, we have a lot of questions that are being asked by people on Instagram and Facebook. For future references, if you want to ask us a question, feel free to drop them on our Instagram and Facebook pages. We are everywhere under the name of Yellow Wall India. So a lot of questions stem from the fact that we lost to the Cologne game. So we just have a quick discussion on that. So Vittal, what are your thoughts on the game against Cologne?
Well, the previous game against Cologne, we were just unlucky. We couldn't finish some chances, and as well as the goals we consider were really crucial. Man, we are just losing each and every set pieces every time, seasons over season. Well, that's a lack of defense, I would say. The second goal was totally unmarked. He just whipped it out and got a ball. He just scored it. So I think this is the thing Dortmund has to be taken care of, because over previous season 2018-19 season 2, we just were in the top of the league like 78 points, and we just dropped down because of defensive errors and losing against small clubs. So
Yeah.
if we just corrected these terms, I think we will be fine.
Yeah, that's very true. Also, I personally believe that we missed a lot of chances in that game. And Jadon Sancho not being informed did not help either. One highlight for me in the game was how well Moukoko played. And I personally feel that even though there are so many memes floating around, and now that even Haaland is the golden boy, it still does not make him invincible against every team, and we still have to have some sort of a backup for him. And I see Moukoko filling those shoes really well. Alister, your thoughts on that?
Absolutely, Moukoko, and I also feel that Thorgan Hazard also plays a big role, right? But definitely with Moukoko coming in, right, and Guerrero also, I think it's gonna be a strong team. But coming to the Cole game, it was quite disappointing. To be honest, I felt that we're absolutely going to win this game, and gonna, gonna like be very strong, but it was quite disappointing. Like Vittal mentioned, the defense was absolutely weak, and Haaland missing that goal, like I just screamed, man! It was such an important goal. It could have even a draw would have been fine at that point of
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. And he doesn't
Yeah,
miss very often. So like it was even like it was
exactly,
very surprising of
exactly,
him to do that.
exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So we've had two primary formations in which we've played this season. One is three at the back and four at the back. I personally am a fan of having four at the back, considering our defensive problems. Uh,
Mm.
what are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. I think for me as well, I think we really do well in a 4-2-3-1 formation, right? And even with today the UCL game, I'm hoping that Fava plays a four at the back, right? So let's see how it is. I think with the defense, I think a four at the back is a better option.
Yeah, correct. I think we've done much better in games we've played four at the back. Vittal?
Yeah, I also like the way we play with four defenders because like Thomas Mueller, he's a good right back. Actually, after getting signed here, we just make him to play in the position of right mid, where he just struggles with the ball. But when we just ask him to play for a right back, he just done a decent job. And also, keeping a four defender is not just anything because as for our results, we are losing in the main area in the defense. So four-man defense is a good thing for me.
All right, all right, all right. Coming to our game tonight against Lazio, it's a big one. We lost away to them, and today they are coming to the Signal Iduna Park. High expectations from the team, especially a lot of expectations from the defense tonight. Uh, how do you feel we would play missing one of our key players, which is Thomas Munier? He won't be there today. Also, I think we're not playing Rafael Guerrero tonight. Alistair, what do you feel? How would we go without the two key missing players?
It's gonna be tough, man. I mean, the last game against Lazio was tough. It was like with Immobile coming in and attacking. We need to be strong on our defense. So again, I'm hoping it's gonna be a four at the back with probably Paslak coming in. Right, it's going to be tough because I think maybe Nico Schulz is doubtful. Rafael Guerrero is not there, and Thomas Munier also is missing the game. So it's gonna be a difficult one, but I'm quite hopeful that we lead with the top of the table. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I'm like very confident about tonight's game because number one, we are playing at home, so that gives us
yeah,
a huge advantage
yeah,
over the other team, no
yeah,
matter who it is.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
secondly,
I just also hope we will be winning tonight because like the last game, it was around 8 years, I think, 8 years or 6 years. So Jay, Lazio just won us against. I mean, won in a UCL match.
yep,
It was
yep,
their history, right?
yep.
So I think it's like a revenge or some sort of tit for tat. We have to win today.
Yeah, and I feel that Haaland will be looking to score today, considering the fact that he did not score on Saturday. So I feel
That,
he'll be hungry for goals, and we all know once he starts scoring, what happens.
that's true. That's true.
Seriously,
But
Jay, I was thinking Moukoko will be taking 2 goals tonight.
I hope so. I certainly hope so. But for that, we need to give him more playing time. That could only happen if Haaland gives us a comfortable lead in the front, so that the 16-year-old does not get into too much pressure. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly jump into some of the questions. There's some questions from Jitin. Okay, so the first question is, when are we going to stop experimenting by signing random coaches instead of having an apt, high-profile coach? Vittal, I'd like to address this question to you.
Um, signing app coaches are uh, what can I say is taking new coaches is not just a solution. We have to have our own capability or mentality like a champion. You see, we have some winning ways. After that, we are just bottling somewhere else, and we just lost the season thoroughly. So I think Favre is doing a little decent job here because he just make a team runner up, and he just make some sort of signings like Torgan Hazard, Brand. So I think making Favre to stay here, not like signing new managers again and again, would be a good chance. And I think Dortmund should stop signing more managers in the future frequently.
All right. So speaking of signings, there's a very interesting question from Pranay. He asks, "Do you think our young star players will stay for long in case we fail to win any titles?" Uh, I personally think that they won't. The ambition in Europe is too big. There are too many
Yeah,
teams going after them, especially with the talents like Jadon Sancho or Erling
Haaland.
Haaland. You just can't
Yeah,
expect them to wait for too long.
yeah.
So in that sense, yeah, that's just my opinion, Alister.
But that's true. That's what is special about Dortmund as well. We do create stars, right? And in some way, it's also good for the club because I mean, we do earn money once other clubs buy them from us, right? But I mean, to be honest, it's rare to find someone like Marco Reus who's so passionate about the club and will stay at the club. But the future, yeah, I mean, to be honest, we should not be so attached to players like young players, especially like Sancho or Haaland, because eventually they would be going to bigger, other clubs, English clubs. Yeah,
Yeah, and like personally, like I felt this that Yusufa Moukoko is something who like he's spent his most of childhood in Dortmund, so I see
yeah.
maybe we can see another Michael Royce in him. No
That'll be
wild
Well,
great.
today I
expectations.
hope Haaland will be staying and will be our Marco Reus 2.0 because he has more passion and aggression during the last year Klassiker, man.
Yeah.
I
His
doubt about that. As much as we all would love that, but I really, really doubt that would happen. But yeah, let's hope for that.
but I see him as a very ambitious player. Like I feel he would at least stay in the club till he leads the team to win at least one title.
One title.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
see that in him for some reason. Like he's very hungry for success, which is something that coming back to our mentality again. It's something that we've
yeah,
lacked often. You know, I'll just quickly jump into another question that dwells into the same mentality aspect. Often we've won against really strong clubs, and we consistently have been failing against teams which are closer to relegation. This is not just this season, but also in the past few seasons. So I personally feel that it's not just the mentality factor, it's also that sometimes these games we I don't know if it's the right thing to say, but we take them too lightly, and we end up paying the price for it. I think when I started watching the game against Cologne, we from the first minute from the get-go, we did not have what it took to defeat them, and they were clearly really motivated to win that evening. So, uh, Alistair?
yeah. I absolutely think it's a motivation issue, and I think that's where a coach plays an important role. Right? As much as Favre is trying his best, right, and trying to build that attacking strategy, it's just that the team I think lacks that motivation of winning. Like how we had it from a previous coach like Jurgen Klopp, right? I think this team needs a coach, a little younger coach probably, right, who can motivate the team. That spirit is important.
All right, I'll just quickly jump into another question. Arun asks, Reina needs to improve his decision making on the pitch. Agree or disagree? Vittal, can you take that up?
Yeah, sure. Well, Raina's playing good. I think his positioning play is good only. I don't think he has to improve a bit, but some of the passings he just mispasses that he has to be improving it.
Um, Also, he's a
Well, that's
fairly
my
young
thought on it.
player, right? But he's fairly a
Yeah,
young player, so yeah, I mean, it's going to take him time. So yeah, especially for important games like like Bayern Munich or in their Klassiker, I'm not sure if we should start with Reina. Yeah.
Yeah, but having said that, I see Jude Bellingham showing a lot of promise in the midfield. Especially in the big pressure games, I see him really performing really,
Absolutely.
really well. Again, coming back to the same uh, full circle that yes, we do need the mentality to win, and a lot of it stems from the management. Uh, that's one thing that I see missing in this team after all these years, because you know. We've had the best squad that we've ever had in a very long time. We have
Yeah.
good replacements for almost every position other than the defense.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I feel even our goalkeeper hits is really well performing really well in absence of Burki.
yeah. Comparing to Burki, hits is really well, man.
Yeah, I mean, like he performs so good in pressure games, and so yeah, we have good replacements in almost every position. The only thing that we miss right now is the mentality, and once we do get that mentality, it's going to be the squad can be an unbeatable squad for me in Europe. uh, Alister, I'll quickly jump to you for a question.
So
The question is from Jitain again. When are we going to boost Julian Brandt by letting him play in his natural position?
as much as we all would like to, I'm not sure why Favre is not letting him play and start. Right, even I think in tonight's game, I'm not sure if he's going to start with Julian Brandt, but I think he's a very, very important and a key player. So I think one thing we need to do is definitely start with Julian Brandt. Yeah.
Well, I believe after Royce leaves the clubs or become previous successor, Julian Brandt will be playing in his natural position
Probably. I
because
think we
yeah,
should play Julian Brandt tonight. For the lack of other
I hope
players,
so.
yeah,
I hope
his
so.
experience would count in the midfield today. What are your opinions, guys? Do you feel Axel Witsel should start tonight against Lazio?
Absolutely. I
I
think
hope
he's,
he should.
yeah,
I hope he
for
should.
sure.
Yeah, even I
For
feel
sure. I
that
think it's important for the midfield. Absolutely.
yeah. He has a very strong command in the midfield, and like he's the link player between the defense and the attack. So I would love to see him tonight.
Yeah,
Well, Axel
absolutely.
Witsel just connects with the defenders and as well as the midfielders. He just
Yeah.
showed why he came to Dortmund with his signing in 2018. It was
Yeah.
clear. So I think Axel Witsel will be crucially playing here, and
For a
I
Champions
believe
League game.
Thomas
Yeah.
Delaney in the subs will be playing good too. If he comes.
Yeah, I hope to see some of Dahoud also tonight. He is the kind of player who can be the difference maker in a game like this. So
What about Thorgan Hazard? I mean, don't you all wish that Thorgan Hazard also plays tonight? And
I'm
because that would help
assuming
with
he would start because Thomas Munier is not playing. So I'm assuming he's the natural second option to go with,
right.
unless we do something completely experimental, which I hope we don't tonight. We desperately
Yeah,
need this victory against Lazio.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so guys, we have a lot of games coming up before the winter break starts. Next, we're headed to play Eintracht Frankfurt after we are done with tonight's game. So, can we have your thoughts on that, Alister and Victor?
Sorry, I couldn't
Sure.
hear you once again.
Your thoughts on the game against Eintracht Frankfurt on Saturday, the Bundesliga game?
Well, after tonight's game, we will be just. I'll be just hoping we'll be playing good. I think the one thing about previous game which may not have been effective. towards the Bundesliga. I hope so.
Alister?
I just feel that it's a hectic season. I mean, the December is going to be crazy for us, right? With just a day's break, a day or two's break, right? I really hope that we win against Frankfurt, especially with the last game against Cologne. Everything is quite unpredictable, to be honest. And with the Champions League in the midweek, yeah, it's going to be a tough game for us again, I feel. So yeah, just hoping for the best.
Yeah, that's very true. I think last
Well,
season,
I agree with Alistair with the fact that unpredictable, because
yeah,
before it was like actor like Royce, if he is in the team, will be winning, will be having the charisma back. But this season is totally unpredictable.
yeah. I think last season we drew to Eintracht or lost to them. I think one of the games. I don't remember if it was home or away. Uh, so yeah, it's going to be a tough game. I hope that we somehow recover the deficit that we have in the points table now, because we can't afford to drop any more points. Considering as it is,
Yeah, we
we're
are
on.
the fourth place, and it
Yeah,
looks
yeah, yeah.
devastating.
Yeah, right now it looks very difficult to climb back on. The only thing that we can root for as of now is that the other teams make mistakes, which is very highly unlikely, because the kind of way Bayern, RB Leipzig, and Leverkusen
Leverkusen.
they've been going, it looks very, very, very slim of them to drop points. I'm just hopeful that Bayern is playing Leipzig next week, so I hope they draw or something like that.
Yeah, I think Leverkusen will eventually drop points. Right. I think it's eventually going to be a challenge between Bayern and Leipzig, the usual, the Bundesliga table. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I wish Leverkusen should be more helpful for us in gaining some points again, and dropping for some points for Bayern.
I hope so. I mean, that's what we had hoped last season also. But uh, when Bayern comes to their style of playing football, it's really unpredictable where the game will go. They're a kind of team that can lose to Hoffenheim 4-1 and then, come back against brilliant teams. So you never know what's going to happen. But speaking of having 2 games a week, I think fatigue is going to play a very huge role this season. And the kind of squad that we have, we can afford more rotation than the other teams. So I think that will give us more of an edge when we come to the January or the February part uh, of the season. But for now, I guess, yes, the main focus should be on recovering that point deficit that we have built up over the past 2 weekends now. Okay, so just quickly take some questions and then we'll wrap this up. uh, okay, so I'll take this question with the Vittal. The question is, when are we going to focus in winning cups than other things that are happening in the club, like grooming talents or doing good business in the transfer market? To just add my personal opinion to it, I feel that that's kind of been the club philosophy for a while now, to develop the young talent. And I don't know if going against that has any correlation to do with us winning the trophies. As a matter of fact,
Well, as
I think grooming young talent will help us eventually win trophies, if at all. Vittal?
as I said from the beginning of this podcast session, we should be having some mental capability of handling those pressures. Like we are playing against a big club, we are just winning or drawing, making a draw. It's a huge accomplishment though, but still we are just losing some tiny mistakes with some tiny mistakes in the defense against some small clubs. So once we are like a solid rock in defense, and we have the mental pressure to handle situations, we will be aiming to getting some titles, and even
Yeah,
our board will be more confident to officially announce we'll be targeting for the champions this season, or and we will be champions of whatever
yeah,
like Bundesliga or UCL too.
absolutely. I completely agree to you. Alistair, this very interesting take that we have from someone from Instagram says that with Sancho's current dip in form, do you think that Sancho should be used as a sub more often and Reina should be given a chance in the current playing 11?
To be honest, my personal opinion should be I think it would be the opposite. We could start with maybe Sancho, and maybe Reina can be in the sub, right? And give Reina the last, yeah, like 30 minutes, or the last 20 minutes, right? So I would definitely start with Sancho. To be honest, it would be the opposite for me. I don't know the others. Vittal, Sujay, what are your thoughts?
I think he's a very young, talented fellow, and but putting him in the playing 11 on every game consistently
Yeah,
would harm us one way or the other. Uh,
absolutely.
Having said that, rotation is key, man. Like when you're playing 2 games a week, it's very important to rotate. And I don't see the harm in trying to start with him in a game or two. But for the longer run, yes, even I would show more confidence in Jadon Sancho. As they say, form is temporary, class is permanent. So we
Yeah.
saw that brilliance of Jadon Sancho when he took that free kick against Bruges. So
Well, I would say taking Jadon Sancho over Super Sub will be some way will be good for some matches because
yeah,
some tough or bigger teams we should be focusing in the first half to handle those possession game, and afterwards in the second half we can just boom give a quick counter attacks with Sancho in the subs. So I'll be planning if Sancho will be a super sub, it will be great.
yeah, that's very true. I mean, there's one small topic that I want to delve into before we end this podcast. Uh, I would want to hear your thoughts on Marco Reus's performance over the past few games. I feel personally that he's been brilliant and coming back from an injury and recovering the way that he has. I feel that he's shown a lot of promise, and in the last 2 games, he's been exceptional in creating chances. Maybe he's not the same goal scoring monster that he once used to be, but I see a lot of confidence in him that maybe I saw missing of a few months back. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Well,
I think he's
absolutely,
just, I mean, agree, absolutely agree. Yeah, yes, Vital, over to you. Go ahead.
yeah, I would agree. Marcos is what can I say, center pivot for Borussia Dortmund, unless like any other clubs. He's the one who can change the game like anything. He's full of a mental pressure. He's a hometown hero. He's a captain. He can provide score some goals and provide goals. As for the
And
past
more
two
than
games, he was
anything,
really good.
absolutely.
Yeah,
And more than anything, I think he can motivate the team. Yeah. I mean, that's so important on the field. Just that having that one person, you look up to, right, who's been there and having that experience. Right. So that also adds a lot. I mean, of course, like you mentioned, he's not the goal scoring machine. But just having that experienced player over there, right, it plays a huge role. So yeah, I think he's still great. I mean, it's Marco Reus after all. Yeah.
well,
Correct.
that's a true word, Alister, because I've been keep on thinking every day that if Roy is gone, I mean he left the club after he like a retirement. What?
Yeah.
Who will be replacing him? Who will be the central pivot the club needs and between the team and players? So I'm still bothering. It was like
But
he's an
like Sujay
irreplaceable
mentioned,
player.
but like Sujay
Irreplaceable player.
mentioned, it made me think today that it could be Moukoko, like Sujay mentioned, right, some time ago. Moukoko could replace eventually Marco Reus. But tough, difficult shoes to be in, and yeah, no pressure for Moukoko then if he's gonna replace Marco Reus.
All right. That was a very fun discussion to have, guys. Thank you for joining me today. I'd quickly take your last few words, and those are going to be in the form of predictions. So we'll take the predictions for the Eintracht Frankfurt game on Saturday. I think, is it on Saturday? Yeah. So what do you think the final score is going to look like, and who's going to score the first goal? Alister?
I think it's going to be a 2-1 with the first goal coming from Sancho.
Oh, so we're hoping for a Sancho comeback then. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
love to see that too. I'd love to see that too. Vittel, what are your thoughts on the game?
Well, my thoughts it will be 3-0, and the first goal will be scored by the better Hazard with a thunderbolt strike, and two goals from Holland.
All right, all right. Yeah, that sounds pretty good too. So we are hoping for 3 points on the table on Saturday. My personal prediction is 2-0, and I think the first goal will come from the monster Erling Haaland. Uh,
Haaland? Okay.
yeah. So, all right, guys. Thank you for joining me today, and it was really fun talking to you. For everyone who's listening to me,
Thank you.
for everyone who's
Well,
listening out
thank you,
there,
Alister. Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, for everyone who's listening out there, I would urge you to join our Facebook and Instagram pages. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram by the name of Yellow Wall India. So thanks, Alister. Thanks, Vittal. It's been very nice talking to you.
Thank you,
And
Sujay. Thank you, Gustav. Thank
yeah,
you. Thanks a lot. This was good fun. Yeah, this is good fun. Yeah. Thank
yeah,
you. Thank you.
yeah. And from
Cheers.
Well,
everyone,
thank you, Alister, Sujay, and Crystal.
yeah, for everyone who's listening to us from home, stay safe and wash your hands. Until next time, this is me signing off. Cheers.